Okay, I got to get somebody to dig this out for me right there so we can come up to where that corner is, basically straight down. And then around this corner so that we're going downhill and that we dump our water back underneath there. This is not a massive amount of water. This is just, it's covered with dust right now, but this is just the, whatever you call it, the last water thing that's gonna happen. It's not the main one. But this is what you're finding. Excellent, for 100 years, I mean, that's incredible. All of these are tough. The only thing that's a little scary is this, when you get into that kind of broken wall, but it doesn't give way. Lots of dirt in there, so it may have had a problem when they first did it, I don't know. But it's not giving way, so I will simply cover it with either epoxy or polymer, basically. This here is kind of covered. Now this is underground, this is the column, so it's not bearing weight, but so this I covered with basically polymer. This side is so broken away, I decided to cover it with epoxy. As you can see, and then it'll ultimately look like that. After the epoxy, I'll build it up with cement. I'll get it to where it kind of squares up. I won't worry about the bottom, but I'll try to square all this up with cement. Then I'll put a stucco, and then finally the black tar. And here, I just want to make sure I get rid of anything that could crumble in the future, and put that over it. Then, so it'll be a polymer or epoxy, and then we'll go to a cement, and then black tar. So again, coming around, this is what we did last week. We got it all cleaned up. This wall was very similar to what I just showed you. And so I basically, only it had cracks on it. Nothing that went deep, but it was long. So I covered it all up with polymer in this case, and then I covered it with cement. And this here is a combination of cement and that stuff right there in that deal. It's great stuff. It's a stucco essentially, and it just trimmed out nicely. This was just like this side here, basically. Okay. Anyway, that's where we are. That's the only ground right there that's actually all the way up. Of course, this will all be moved. So this will be the highest point. It'll come around where this black tar is. That's basically where it has to level out. And you can see right there where the old went. Okay, that's just about where the black tar is across the way. That's where it spins out, and we're done. Okay, so this is the side begun to be built up with the stucco, and I layered polymers, and then the stucco's on top of it. Both of those will tend to just be things that help it grasp. And then tomorrow, about half hour before I start putting it on, I will put some binding on this cement, and then put cement. And then let that harden, and then we'll finish it. What's really cool, and I didn't notice because I've never been able to put it on sides like this, but by misusing it, you can put on the side. This stuff is harder than crap. Excuse me, but it's harder than cement. It says it is, but it certainly is. I'm going to start using that more often when I'm just doing this kind of binding stuff. Anyway, the stucco will help bind it further. And it gives me something to put the cement against when I secure the cement. All right.